Today we are going to talk about cause and effects in Dhamma. This class designs especially for kids, so it will be much more simpler than adult one. Okay. Before we begin, I would like to mention about the important note that Dhamma provided in this presentation is simple and not Kampira or profound. People must continuously study Dhamma or else it will lead to Mahatapa, Niraya or hell, because it is Micchaditti, not following the Buddha's teaching. If any provided content contrast with Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka, please refer to Dhamma 84,000 Dhammakantaka only. What day is today? Today is 8 Kalapakhatsa, Chetha Masatsa, Mahaputtha Shayanti 2612, or June 11, Buddhist era 2566.
Okay. We pay respect to our Paramatha Anuttara Samma Sampoti. We sati Ariya Makha. We sati Samanya Phala. เอกนิพพานะคิปปาพิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เถิดสาธุสาธุสาธุนวติอุปนิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ
Before the Buddhas entered Parinibbana, he said to Ananta that Ananta Dhamma and Vinaya will be your teacher when Anuttara Dhamma Sambodhi enters Parinibbana, or the one we always said that Yovo Ananta Maya Dhammo Ja Vinayo Ja Tesito Panyato Sovo Mama Jayena Sattha. That is the reason why we need to Sikkha. Okay. Next one, the responsibility of the four Puttha Parisa consisting of three responsibility. The first one is for Puttha Parisa must well understand the Tipitaka 84,000 Dhammakantaka, and the four Puttha Parisa must be able to correctly present 84,000 Dhammakantaka, and the four Puttha Parisa must be able to correct those who condemn or misunderstand the Tipitaka 84,000 Dhammakantaka.
We pay respect to ท่านติปิตกะธรรมจริยสุชาติอ่อน and ท่านอังคคุณะอริยธรรมโสตาปันนะ who is the leader who bring Dhamma to our class and to everybody. We สติอริยมรรค We สติสามัญญภละ เอกนิพพานะคิปปาพิญญาโดยเฉียบพลันในประวัติการนี้เถิดสาธุสาธุสาธุนวุติอุปนิธิพันธะอนุโมทามิ
Before we mention about the cause and effects in our daily lives and in Dhamma, we go back and refer to our daily activities that normally in our daily activity, as we have already known that we sleep, we work, we eat, we party, we travel, we exercise, and spending time with family, like you are going on a trip today and we need to earn money. Things like this is our daily activities, and our activities bring our feelings that occur in our daily everyday life. We feel happy, indifferent, sad, dissatisfied, angry, hate, envy, etc. This is the feelings that happen every day according to our daily activities. And moreover, the daily activities are organized into three groups. We call Kama Sanya, Kojara Sanya, and Morana Sanya. Kama Sanya is the activities that we spending with our family or our loved one. And Kojara Sanya is something like we study, we work, we exercise, something like that. And Morana Sanya is a breath of death. Classification of the activities like getting sick, going to hospital, something like that. So how many types of human beings are there? We according to the teaching of Kodama Buddha, we classify the people into 4 types. The first one is Manusa Nirayo, second one is Manusa Peto, the third one is Manusa Tirachano, and the last one is Manusa Tevo. For the first 3 Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, and Manusa Tirachano, these 3 Manusa, and they are under influence of activities of Kama Sanya, Kojara Sanya, Marana Sanya. So they their feelings within the day, according to those activities, they'll feel happy, indifferent, sad, dissatisfied, angry, hate, envy, etc. Something like that.
น้อง
And-
เบน now you're on your trip what is your มนุษย์ now น้องเบน
เราไปเห็นเราไปดูกับเราอยู่ในครอบครัวของเรา
งั้นเราเป็นมนุษย์แบบไหน what type
มนุษย์คิดว่าคือมนุษย์นิวยอร์ก
ใช่เพราะแม่เท่ากับกุศล42นะ
we can combine
เพราะงั้นแม่
we can combine
ป๊าม่ากินข้าวอยู่
ป๊าป๊ากินข้าวอยู่ป๊าป๊าเป็นอะไร
เขาไม่ได้กินตอนนี้
no before
เขาบอกว่าแม่กินข้าวด้วยเพราะว่าตอนแม่กินข้าวแม่ก็เป็นมนุษย์โต
น้องเบนเดาว่าเป็นมนุษย์สัตว์นิรโยแล้วน้องทีล่ะน้องทีคิดว่าน้องทีคิดว่าน้องเบนตอนนี้เป็นมนุษย์สัตว์ประเภทไหน
มนุษย์
เราเรียนในสื่อสถาธรรม
ไม่รู้มนุษย์เทโว
มนุษย์เทโวแล้วน้องอินดี้ล่ะดูซิว่าใครถูก
นี่นะตอนนี้นี่เป็นมนุษย์แบบไหน
which one are you
ตอบ
talking
พี่
about
เร็ว
Table
เพราะว่าสิกขาธรรมอยู่ใช่ไหม
ใช่
ไม่มั่นใจ
เอาพี่กันเราสอนดีมากเด็กๆตอบไม่มั่นใจเลยสอนหน่อย
So when you Sikkha Dhamma or study Dhamma, you have chance to be a Manusa table. Apart from that, we go back to be our Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, and Manusa Tirachano. We spend our time in Sanya 3, which called Kama Sanya, Kojara Sanya, Marana Sanya. During the day, we usually be Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano, except only the time that you spend Sikkha Dhamma. This for easy understanding for the beginners.
and when we pray like Papan go to see อะไรนะ jelly and think that it will die or not and then Papan bring the child to pray at that time it is Dhamma Sanya too so it is Manusa Tevo
You can
and
switch
when we go trip we have insight we have Citta 121 and everything we look and we think about this is Tirachano so we can escape from Tirachan how we can done that and we talk about Dhamma when we trip during trip so that time we are Manusa Tevo too okay
Yes. According to the Piping said, during your daily activities, in case that you can, in case those activities reminds you, and in case you can relate those activities with Dhamma, in that case you can have a chance to be Manusa Tevo during the day. Or as Piping mentioned that when you go to the sea and you see the sea creatures, the animal that you have read, it's going to die or something like that. And then you say it out loud about Citta 121 or even only Akusala Citta 12. that because Chitta 121 or even only Chitta Akusala Chitta 12, those are the teaching of Gautama Buddha. When you remind of the teaching of Gautama Buddha or Dhamma, then at that time you transform from Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirashano in Manusa Tevo. And when you go back to your daily activities, then you become Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirashano again. This is normal. We switch between these three Agusala type of Manusa and one type of Kusala Manusa, which is Manusa Tevo. However, for those who don't have a chance to Sikkha Dhamma or don't know anything about Dhamma, then they can only be Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirashano during the day and their whole life. They cannot switch into Manusa Tevo because to be Manusa Tevo, only one condition is needed, which is Sikkha Dhamma. That's his special requirement to be Manusa Tevo.
โอเคค่ะ
And by ourselves, we call ourselves Putuchana. And by ourselves or Putushana, we have our daily activities according to ourselves. We have Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Marana Sanya. So we can go travel, we study, we work, we get rest, we travel from here and there, something like that. And those activities classified into these three groups of Sanya, which is Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, and Marana Sanya. These are activities that decide can be done by ourselves without the teaching of Gautama Buddha. And the result of these group of activities, they are leading us to Abhaya Bhumi. And by said Abhaya Bhumi, you have already familiar with it. Altogether in Dhamma of Gautama Buddha, we mentioned that we have altogether 31 Bhumi. Yes, consisting of Abhaya Bhumi 4, Manusa Bhumi 1, Deva Bhumi 6, Brahma Bhumi 16, Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4. And by only our daily activities that can be done with ourselves without the teaching of Gautama Buddha, then those activities will lead us to Abhaya Bhumi 4 only. Now, this is the diagram, the chart that show you the way of the activities that decide by ourselves or called Putushana, and the activities that have the teaching of Gautama Buddha involved. By doing it by spending our daily activities by ourselves, we consisting of Lopa, Tosa, Moha, or Lopa Mulacitta 8, Tosa Mulacitta 2, and Moha Mulacitta 2. This is the act of Manusa, because we are Manusa at this time. And by doing so, by spending our daily activities, as we mentioned, they are derived by Lopa Mulacitta 8, Tosa Mulacitta 2, and Moha Mulacitta 2. That's why they leads us, our daily activities leads us to Abhaya Bhumi 4 only, because it's the influence of Akusala Chitta 12. Or even though a Brahma Bhumi 4, Brahma Bhumi 16, Deva Bhumi 6, they are going down if they decided by themselves without the teaching of Gautama Buddha. Everyone in 31 Bhumi will go down to Abhaya Bhumi 4 only. These are caused by the activities that we mentioned in early of the class, that our daily activity classified into three groups. And those three groups, Kama Sanya, Gochara Sanya, Marana Sanya, are done by three groups of Manusa, which is Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachanu. That is our normal life. However, whenever we find the teaching of Gautama Buddha and we Sikkha as we are doing it today, this is the only way that can help us escape from Abhaya Bhumi 4 and developed into Manusa 1 or Teva Bhumi 6, Brahma Bhumi 16, or Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4, or even, and moreover, with Sikkha Dhamma can lead us to Lokuttara, or leaving the cycling of existence in 31 Bhumi. And it could, and these kind of development can be done only by Sikkaya, and to Sikkaya you need to find the correct teaching of Gautama Buddha. And we will develop from Pariyatti, Patipatti, and Pativeta. For Pariyatti, it means 84,000 Dhammakantaka, and Patipatti mean Lokuttara, and Pativeta mean Asava Kilesa, end of Asava Kilesa. Yeah. Okay. In order to transform from Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano into Manusa Tevo, Sikkha Dhamma is needed. That's why we need to Sikkha Dhamma. Otherwise, you cannot develop yourself from Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, and Manusa Tirachano. You only end up here without Sikkha Dhamma. You cannot be Manusa Tevo. And by doing so, by being only 3, this kind of Manusa, you go to Abhaya Bhumi 4. Only Manusa Tevo that can develop from Abhaya Bhumi 4 to Manusa Bhumi 1, Teva Bhumi 6, Brahma Bhumi 16, and Arupa Brahma Bhumi 4, and even go to Lokuttara, end of the cycle of existence.
Pikan, when I eating Kentucky, I feel that it will very delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I feel very delicious. But oh no, this is Tirachano. I cannot eat it like this. It is Lopa or Tosa.
Well, for it is easy understanding for the beginners. When you feel happy in Lopa Mula Citta, there are Lopa Mula Citta 8. They divided into 4 and 4, 4 Somanat and 4 Ubekha. So when you feel happy when you're eating food, that is kind of Somanat in Lopa Mula Citta 8, 4 out of 8 activated. But it's not Somanat in Mahakuson. Even though you feel happy, but that feeling happy is classified as the act of Akusala Citta 12 altogether. So even you decide to eat that chicken or not to eat that chicken, if you are eating chicken like that, or even you are vegetarian, it the cause of Akusala anyway, it leads you to Abhaya Bhumi 4, except only you Sikkha Dhamma, that things will be changed.
So I cannot eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, or I can eat it.
Well, let me say this way. You can eat it and not eat it, and still be Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano. Or you can eat it or not eat it, and you can be Manusa Tevo. Because the condition is not by eating it or not eating it, but the main condition is do you Sikkha Dhamma or not? If you have the Dhamma or teaching of Gautama Buddha, you try to understand the teaching of Gautama Buddha. That is the only way that can transform you from Manusa Nirayo, Manusa Peto, Manusa Tirachano into Manusa Tevo. It's not it not depend on you are the one who eat meat or the vegetarian one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So no need to concern about that, but concern only in one day you have to Sikkaya.
Yes, for more example is that if you are not eating chicken, eating pork, eating something like that, you can compare it with a cow. A cow eats only grass, right? Grass is the vegetable, the plant, and the cow still cow. Cow cannot be human by eating only grass. And a goat also eat grass, and they still be a goat or one of Abhaya Bhumi 4. It cannot be human. by eating grass. That's why Dhamma is needed in our daily life. So even though we are vegetarian, it's not making us human, because cow eat grass, goat eat grass, something like that. It still be an animal. We cannot develop into a human.
So สาธุค่ะ
This is kind of Manusa Tevo. We follows the teaching of Gautama Buddha, and this one example I'm borrowing it from Papan. We look at it for a short time. Okay, that's right.
Uncle Ben.
Yes, it's your trip.
every time you in your
No,
trip
no. You have to go to share screen. ยินไม่ได้
ไม่ได้ยินกัน
ต้องไปที่อะไรนะต้องไป turn on เลยสักอย่างใช่ไหมเป็น
You have to turn on like มันแค่จะมีว่า this มันแค่จะ call share sound.
Really?
ต้องจุด3 จุด
โอ้โห3 จุดกัน
More record reaction. Share computer sound. Okay, I found it.
Restart ก่อน restart.
แต่หน้าตายิ้มแย้มมากเลย
Yeah.
เห็นแล้วคิดถึงที่เราไปอีกนะไม่อยากไป
เฮ้ยน่ากินมากหิว
ก็เป็นไปไม่กินจะลอง
ที่นี่คือวัดสิริมหาโพธิที่ศรีลังกาสังเกตว่าคนที่มาวัดก็จะถอดรองเท้าไม่ใส่รองเท้าเลยวันนี้เราได้
Sadhu Papan for a very nice Dhamma trip, and that is the example of Dhamma. Right?
No. I did day 1. What day 2? No,
พี่กัน
Hmm?
how different between Dhamma trip and Putuchana trip
That's a good question, Piping. The difference lies underneath that, because with our bare eyes, we'll see that you need to travel by plane. You need to travel from here and there and visit the place, and those places, some of them are tourist attraction. Even at Siri Mahapoti is also be a tourist attraction place. However, it depends on the objective that you visit that place. If you visit it as a tourist, or you visit it as a one of are you going to visit Gautama Buddha, or you going to visit
ตุปัสสริสา
yes, or you're going to visit tourist attraction, because it is also the same place. It's tourist attraction, and it's also be the place of Gautama Buddha and Buddha Jatuvarsa. Which one you visit? For normal people, they visit the place to see the tree, the Bodhi tree. But for us to visit that place, we visit Gautama Buddha and go to the teaching, go to find the correct teaching of Gautama Buddha, pay respect to Gautama Buddha. That is the difference between normal tourists and us. So moreover, when we visit Sri Lanka, we said that we visit Tampa Panitipa. We are not going to say that we visit Sri Lanka, which with our BRs, it's the same place. It's located in the same place, but actually it's different. For Sri Lanka, you visited today. That is the country, as the country, and that country, the Buddhas never visit Sri Lanka, but Buddhas visit Tampa Panitipa. That's why we said that we visit Tampa Panitipa, because we visit the place that Buddhas was there. It's different. Even that's why we normally we don't say that we visit Sri Lanka, but we visit Tampa Panitipa. And as we mentioned that by visiting Sri Mahapothi, we are not going to that place as a tourist attraction, but we visit that place because we are going to meet Gautama Buddha and the teaching of Gautama Buddha. That is different. Even
น้อง
is the same place.
น้องทีป้าเปิ้ล have got got กุศล only when during the trip or before going to the trip or only during.
That's a good question, Piping. Actually, for Kusala, it starts from the day one that you decide to go, and for the time that you spend preparing yourself and the time that you traveling to the place, those time you spend since the day one that you decide to go, classified as Kusala one.
Okay.
This is for big picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we are going to talk about cause and effects of Dhamma, comparing with the cause and effects of Putushana or normal people. Before that, we divided the level of details into two main level. The first level is Putushana zone, or that can be the level that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven. And the second level, which more elaborate, more profound than the first one, we call it Dhamma zone. And for Putushana zone and the cause effects of Putushana or normal people, cause and effects only defined in the zone that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven. Only in this zone they classify it as cause and effects. But in Dhamma, at this level, at the level that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven, they classified it as an effect, no cause at all. But for Putushana, at this level, it exists of cause and also effects. And for Dhamma zone or Abhidhamma, and cause and effects of Putushana, this one, Putushana or normal people, inaccessible. They all don't understand that, they don't even understand that this level exists. So that's why I said inaccessible. And for Dhamma, at this level, at Dhamma zone, is the cause that create effects that stay that in the level of things that can be seen, tangible, and scientifically proven. All of things happen at this level called effects for Dhamma. And for normal people at this level, they classified it as a cause and effects. For example, this one, you're hungry.
If you news enlighten, you can Dhamma zone die by cause effect.
Yes, Cap. Even today, you are trying to Sikkha Dhamma. You see, you are you are entering Dhamma zone. Here, we are entering Dhamma zone by Sikkha Dhamma. Without Sikkha Dhamma, with only the knowledge of everyday's our normal technology, we can access only this level. But as I mentioned, it's scientifically proven is Putushana zone, cause and effects. You are here, but
คำว่าโซนเห็นไม่ได้
yes, no, it cannot be proven by scientifically. It's true. It's more profound, much more profound than science today. That's why they cannot access, inaccessible for our technology today. But
So
by knowing Dhamma or Sikkha Dhamma, we can explain everything that happened in our Putushana zone, or even scientifically proven Dhamma can explain everything that happened with it. And
พี่กัน
beyond,
เงิน
Yeah.
so we have no need to study at all other
that's very
Only
good
Sikkha.
question to think. That is very good questions. Study classify as one of the three sanya, right? Kotar sanya or something like that. Kama sanya, kotar sanya, and mara sanya. With these three sanya, Gautama Buddha never said that you have to quit these three sanya. You can still have your three sanya, kama sanya, kotar sanya, mara sanya. However, you need to add more sanya, which is Dhamma sanya. That is the things that Gautama Buddha mentioned. So you don't have to quit your three sanya. Kama sanya, kotar sanya, mara sanya. You can continuously doing it as always. But you need to add more sanya, which is Dhamma sanya. That's why you need Sikkha Dhamma in your daily life. You try
why I have to study, because every studying is only sanya 3, so I going only sanya 4, so I don't have no need to study to be engineer, to be accounting or anything. Can I do that?
Actually, no, because in more details, when you Sikkha Dhamma, not only kusala is needed, akusala is also needed. It will be quite confused for the beginner, but I will say this way. You need Sikkha Dhamma to create kusala, but to enter Lokuttara, you need akusala to go to Lokuttara. Without akusala, you cannot enter. You cannot become one of the Lokuttara. You cannot become Sotapatti Makha, because some of akusala must be pahana at the level of Sotapanna. Without akusala, you don't have anything to pahana at Sotapanna. That's why akusala is needed, but needed to pahana at Sotapanna level. That's why you need your sanya 3, but but I insist that it must be contained with kusala 1, and kusala you gain it from Dhamma sanya, and with Dhamma sanya will contain those akusala and bring it to the level of when you attain, when you reach the level that you are going to be Sotapanna, then those akusala will need it, and that level will pahana those akusala, and you will become Sotapanna.
Can I explain like this? If we don't done akusala, like we have to recite A B C D E before we Sikkaya, we have to know that what is A B C D E. We have to recite that before, and then we use that A B C D E in Sikkaya today.
Well, it's okay. You can.
Napongkat, can we explain like this? The case that we need to know akusala for the kids is so easy. If we don't know what is the bad thing, how do we know the right thing? For example, if we don't know that watermelon meat inside is the red one, How do you know this is watermelon? If you go, somewhere else, you go to the market and someone do the fake watermelon like from China. And when you cut it, oh, okay, this is a good one because this is inside is in yellow. Oh, okay, I can eat it. So this is easy. So we learn the bad. We know the bad thing. We know the bad people in order to differentiate the bad one and the good one. This is simple. Okay, that what I like to trying to say for the kids. Okay, and this is support you point. Okay, in
Yes.
easier way. Okay,
Much
thank
more
you.
easier สาธุครับพี่แอน
And in addition, if you don't study normal life, how can you our earth have activity? Everyone will go to be monk or Pikuni only. We will have no engineer, no accounting, no analytic, other field of occupation. So everything we have to pass akusala and then you go to kusala.
Yes, it seems it's impossible, but actually it's impossible for us to for everyone to be bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. We will explain more details later on why we say that it is impossible, because we have to go to much more detail than this about what create our body, what create our environment, and the activities of Chitta and Cetasika that create our body. That's a lot of details to mention. Okay.
Okay, Satu ka.
But that's a good question, Piping. It seems at the beginning, for the beginners, we always think that, okay, in that case, Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya is bad. So we quit all of them and we only do Dhamma Sanya, which is not I think that everybody who's Sikkha Dhamma might think it that way, because we used to think it that way too. We also mentioned about ourselves in the past. We think it the same way. So we better quit Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya, and we do only Dhamma Sanya. Is that we supposed to be, and is that the way, the fastest way to go to Lokuttara, which is the misunderstanding. So you can continuously do Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya, however, add Dhamma Sanya in your life. That is the correct way to do that. Okay, so you can continuously study your study in school and go to college and have job. That's fine. We are not asking you to quit all of those things and go to Dhamma Sanya only. You can continuously with your Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya. However, add Dhamma Sanya in your life, and the more of Dhamma Sanya you will know what to do with Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya in much more details. And now and later on you can gain Kusala from Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya. That is a bit confused for the beginners, but in the future you understand with more of Dhamma Sanya, and then it will control Kama Sanya, Kochara Sanya, Mara Sanya, which you can do it as normal people, but the result of those Sanya instead of leading you to Abhaya Bhumi, they will lead you to Lokuttara instead. That's different. With the bears, you cannot identify it, you cannot differentiate it. But in the level of Chitta and Cetasika, that you can find a difference. In the future, we'll explain more about that. It's quite elaborate and very complex one. Okay, next. The example of cause and effects of Dhamma, comparing cause and effects of Putushana. For example, like you're hungry. When you're hungry, the level cause and effects of Putushana, you're hungry because you're low energy, you empty stomach, your stomach is empty. The effects is to have a meal. You are going to look for a meal. When you have a meal, the cause of having a meal because you are hungry, and the effects of too much meal is you are going to be fat. The cause of fat is too much food, and effects sick because of too much food. And when you're sick because of you are fat, and the effects of too much fat you're going to die, and you die is the effects of your sickness. It's caused by your sickness. So this is cause and effects of Putushana. However, at the level of Dhamma, it's said that all of the event, hungry, have a meal, fat, sick, dead, all of them are effect of phala of the in Dhamma level is not cause at all. And the second example, cold weather. It might be cold weather because it is winter. And the effects of cold weather is you're going to find clothes to wear. And when you find clothes to wear because of the cold weather, then the effects due to cold weather and you cannot find warm enough clothes, then you get sick. You get sick because of you cannot keep your body warm. And the effects of sick, if you cannot be cured, you're gonna be dead again. It's caused by your sickness. This is cause and effects of Putushana level or normal people level. This is not cause and effects that we are familiar with. However, in the Dhamma level, it's all of these events are the effects, no cause at all. Even though we said because of winter, no, in Putushana level, it said this. Yes, because it is winter, that's why the weather is cold. But in Dhamma level, the winter is also the effects, not the cause. And to find clothes to wear is also the effects. In Dhamma level is not cause at all. But in Putushana level, we divided it into cause and effects like this, that we have already familiar with them. And for one more example, for evaporation. Evaporation occurs because of the heat. Right? And because of the evaporation, its effects. With the heat, it causes evaporation. And the clouds caused by condenses of water. Once water evaporate, then it condenses into cloud. And the effects of cloud, it becomes precipitation. And the precipitation caused by the cloud, right? And too much of them cause flood, or effects of them is flood, and flood caused by cloud, too much precipitation. And these cause and effects, when we talking into Dhamma level, is all of them are the effects, as I mentioned. So in summarize, we compare it with the cause and effects of Dhamma and cause and effects of Putushana. In Putushana level, in our normal level, cause and effects, we have many theory. For example, such as we have a Pareto chart, 80-20, 80, you put effort of 20%, and then you cover things of 80% that you need to be done. Something like that. It's 20-80 theory. And we have failure model effect analysis, or FMEA, this one used in automotive industry mainly to find cause and effects. 5 whys is also one theory to find cause and effects. Ishikawa fishbone diagram, fault tree analysis, AD report template checklist, DMAIC template, or define measure analysis, improve control. This is also theory that find cause and effects in Putushana level. And scatter diagram, this is the diagram that used to find a relation between two groups of information. Things like this. These are tools that normal people use to find cause and effects. However, in Dhamma, we use only Dhamma 80. We use only Abhidhamma 42,000 Dhammakantaka. That this one classified as cause to explain every effects that happen in our life, not only our life, but also the lives that happen in 31 Bhumi, not only be true in Manusa, but be true across 31 Bhumi, and also the one that escaped from the 31 Bhumi. Here, a bit more detail about Abhidhamma. Dhamma Vinaya altogether, we have 84,000 Dhammakantaka. At the time when Buddha was alive, Dhamma Vinaya divided into two groups. The first one is Vinaya 21,000 Dhammakantaka, and the second one is Dhamma 63,000 Dhammakantaka. After that, after the pass away, after Parinibbana of Gautama Buddha and a little bit more time, and at that time, it divided into three groups. The first one is Vinaya 21,000 Dhammakantaka. The second one is Suttanta 21,000 Dhammakantaka, and the last one is Abhidhamma 42,000 Dhammakantaka. Divided into three one, and you can see that I color it gray for this too, because Vinaya and Suttanta is the result or phala or effects that caused by Abhidhamma. The Abhidhamma is the reason or the cause that makes Vinaya and Suttanta happen. Okay, within Abhidhamma, we divide it a bit more. Abhidhamma divided into Paramattha Dhamma and Panyati Dhamma. Within Panyati Dhamma, divided into Atta Panyati and Sattha Panyati. You can imagine like Panyati Dhamma is the name need to be called that Paramattha Dhamma. Paramattha Dhamma is the real things that we operate. For example, like here, the mobile, you call it mobile phone or cell phone. The word that you use, mobile phone or cell phone, that is comparing as Panyati. But this one, the real object is Paramattha Dhamma, things like that. This is very simple example, but imagine it, try to picture it like this as a beginner, but later on it will be much more complicated than this, but this one for the beginners. So Panyati Dhamma is the name that you need to be called, the name of that object. And Paramattha Dhamma is that real object. With only the name mobile phone or cell phone, it cannot operate anything because it's only the name. Once you get this object, it can be operated because the real object is Paramattha Dhamma. It's not Panyati Dhamma. Okay, and for Paramattha Dhamma, it consisting of Citta 121, Cetasika 52, Rupa 28, and Nibbana 1. That's why we insist that you need to be able to recite Citta 121, Cetasika 52, and Rupa 28 for the beginners. And those three components, Citta 121, Cetasika 52, Rupa 28, and Nibbana 1, they all have specific characteristics. And these characteristics classify into two groups. The first is Samanya Lakkana, and the second one is Visesa Lakkana. Samanya Lakkana consisting of Anicca Lakkana, Dukkha Lakkana, Anatta Lakkana, and Visesa Lakkana consisting of Lakkana, Rasa, Paccupatthana, Pathatthana. This is the characteristic of Paramattha Dhamma. And as we mentioned, for the beginners, very easy. Citta operate with Cetasika, create Rupa, and then create everything in 31 Bhumi. This is cause and effects, creates Rupa and creates everything in 31 Bhumi. That's why you need to recite Citta 121, Cetasika 52, because once they interact together, they create Rupa and they create everything in 31 Bhumi. And what are they? What do they create? One of the things that they create Kama Sharupa 18, Citta Sharupa 15, Utu Sharupa 13, and Ahara Sharupa 12, or create your body, your mind, your environment, your food. These are things that Citta and Cetasika create Rupa, and one of the Rupa that they create is Rupa Samuddathana or Kama Shrupa 18, Citta Shrupa 15, Utu Shrupa 13, Ahara Shrupa 12. So once Citta, Cetasika create these groups, so they create your body, they create your mind, they create your environment, and then they create your food. So when they create these components, go back to the example that we have just mentioned. So everything that involved in that example, like yourself, your mind, your environment, your food, those are caused by interaction of Chitta and Cetasika that create Rupa. This is the cause, and those examples are the effects. That's why those examples are the effects. So here you see a bit clearer picture. Once Chitta interact with Cetasika, they create Rupa, and Rupa create your body, or Kamashrupa 18, your mind, or Chittashrupa 15, your environment, or Utushrupa 13, and your food, or Aharashrupa 12. So once they control everything around you like this, Kamashrupa, Chittashrupa, Utushrupa, and Aharashrupa, they control everything that you are involving with your daily lives, create from Chitta and Cetasika and Rupa. Yeah. So go back to the example that we had just mentioned before. Now you can see that the cause and effects of Dhamma, when you're hungry, is the effects from Chitta, Cetasika, and Kamashrupa. When you have a meal, decide to have a meal, whether you have a hamburger or you decide to have a Thai food, a noodle, or Japanese food, those are the cause from Chitta and Cetasika and Kamashrupa. And when you're fat, that also the effects that comes from Chitta, Cetasika, and Kamashrupa. And sick is also the effects that comes from the interaction of Chitta, Cetasika, and Kamashrupa, and you died from Chitta, Cetasika, and Kamashrupa. These are the cause that control the effects that happen during in your daily lives. And the same with the cold weather, find clothes to wear, sick, and death. It also the result from the interaction of Chitta and Cetasika and Kamashrupa. Because your Kamashrupa, Chittashrupa, Utushrupa, Aharashrupa, as we mentioned, they are your body, your mind, your environment, your food, that involved in all of these activities. These events, for example, like cold weather, they are your environment or Utushrupa, and you feel cold. Your body is Kamashrupa, cannot stand cold weather. So you need to find clothes to wear, and clothes to wear is also your Utushrupa. You need to find Utushrupa. However, when you cannot find warm the clothes that warm enough, your Utushrupa is not enough to protect your Kamashrupa. Then your Kamashrupa gets sick. When your Kamashrupa gets sick and it cannot be operated anymore, cannot operate and keep you alive anymore, then your Kamashrupa is broken, or you become you're dead. This simple one to try to explain that cause and effects of Dhamma. In Dhamma level, we look into much more profound than what happened from cause and effects of Putushana level. Okay, and this also the same: evaporation, cloud, rain, flood. These all the events of Utushrupa. We are one when in case we are staying here, we also involving this event of Utushrupa. That's why in Dhamma level we say that it's a cause of Chitta, Cetasika, and Kamashrupa also. Okay, now a little questions. So who want to help me answer? When you're hungry, you have a meal, you have fat, you're fat, you're sick, you're dead. It's classified as cause or effects of when we consider it in Dhamma level.
Effects.
The effects, correct. Sadhu krab.
ใช่เหรอ
Indeed.
ไม่ใช่เหรอ
Indeed.
ใช่เหรอ
You remember the name of for type of Manusa? I give you one. Manusa Nirayo. The rest.
Manusa table, this green one.
Okay, correct. Sadhu krab.
At the end, the end of the red ones could Manusa Tirachano.
Sadhu krab.
Manusa Niryan.
Last one.
Manusa Beto.
Sadhu
Yes,
krab.
สาธุค่ะ
That's good. And for Dhamma Itibuddhasa and Dhammakantaka, classify into 3 groups. We have Vinaya, Sutanta, and
เอาแม่ไม่ได้คิดเอาเร็วๆ
น้องทีตอบบ้างไหมครับทีครับ น้องทีตอบได้ไหมให้น้องทีบ้างลูก
which one? Dhamma classify into 3 groups. The first one is
Vinay.
Vinaya, Sutanta,
Okay,
and
take one.
the cost one
Okay, take one.
อะไรนะครับ
No.
say again น้องที
เด็กลองแก้ซื้อ
A. Start with A.
I think you know the answer
Abhidhamma.
Abhidhamma
สาธุครับ
Satu up.
Pasasa sowata.
เกี่ยวไหมเบน
This one is quite easy. When
เกี่ยวกันไหมเนี่ยแม่
When Sikkha interact with Sikkha, they create what?
Rupa.
Satu
Yeah.
up.
สาธุ
Satu up when Sikkha interact. And our environment, what does it call? Our body is Kamashrupa.
What is purple, please?
Our mind Chitta Shrupa.
Sahansa Terana.
No,
อะไรลูก
our environment.
That's art. That's clearly
นั่นคือ environment เนี่ย environment คืออะไร
Sahansa Terana.
ฮะ
ตัวอะไร
U
ตัวอะไร
Utu Charupa.
อย่าสาธุ
How about this one?
What was the part called?
How about this one?
ทีตอบได้ไหมครับ what is that ทีครับที อันนี้ โอเค we have กัมมะชรูปะ จิตตะชรูปะ อุตุชรูปะ and เรากินอะไรครับ
Uh-huh.
อาหารอาหารแล้วทีเนาะ อาหารช
อาหาร
รู
อะไร
ปะ
อาหารอะไร
เราพูดให้ถูกว่าอาหาร
อาหารชรูปะ
Is
นะ
a
ลูก
chemical made? Is a chemical called pesticides in it?
โอเค
Correct.
correct ครับ
โอเค
This is special questions. What are the responsibility of Puddha Parisa?
นั่นไงมีสีเกรย์ๆอยู่นะ
The person must well understand it. 84,000 Dhammakanta. The 400 Parisa was able to correctly present the 84,000 Dhammakanta. The 400 who condemn and misunderstand about 84,000 Dhammakanta.
สาธุ
สาธุค่ะ
good remember not good
โอ้โห
right
very good
How did we know?
you have
very
good
good
eye เนาะ
remember
the kid have the good eye ค่ะป้าเปิ้ล if us we cannot read because it's too blur okay
So,
Okay.
This class we mentioned about the cause and effects of Dhamma comparing the cause and effects of Dhamma. Okay. Do you have any questions?
เบนจะพูดอะไรกับป้าแอน
Ma Ann.
จ๋า
โอ้ต้องเป็นพี่ใช่ถูกต้อง
จะ
เล
กิ
ย
นจะเอานมแล้วสิยูจะเอาอะไรยูบอก น้องเบน
Vitamin gummy ครับ
ใครจะมาเดี๋ยวฝากกัมมี่ไปให้
นี่อะไรสกิลนี่อะไรของเขา
อินดี้ชอบอะไรนะ ที่ป้าแอนฝากไปให้อ่ะ ได้กินเปล่า
พี่แอน
ไม่ต้องพี่
โอ้โหเอาใจสุดชีวิต
เอาใจเกินไปแล้ว
เดี๋ยวเดือนหน้ากลับไปค่ะแล้วจะหา
เดี๋ยวพาไปซื้อเดี๋ยวพาไปซื้อร้านนี้อร่อย ที่แปแอนซื้อไปฝากเดี๋ยวซื้อให้
เดือนหน้ามาเหรอป้าเปิ้ล
ใช่ค่ะใช่จะไปเดือนหน้าไปเมืองไทย